Okay guys, so now we'll be making a fabric wallet. All right, so if you had come to our event, you probably had made this wallet itself. It's a very easy chic wallet, and we actually put a loop for a button here. Now you could make so many different sort of wallet. We're gonna actually step up a little in this one to put a pocket in this wallet itself, and then we're gonna do the button a little bit different. Okay, so again, this is another wallet I make for one of my garments here. So it's similar to this, just as the shape is just a little bit different. It's longer, and then I have some compartments for this wallet. Eventually we would be making a wallet like this as we go along in this of course, as we go along in the sewing journey, right? But this is it. And then if you want, let's say you don't have a button, you don't have anything, you could just make a little loop to kind of put your strap in there. So it's a very plain wallet again, and you would actually put your loop in there itself. All right, so for this one we're gonna make it a little bit different. There's so many different ways you can make wallet, and with so many different sizes. If you notice here, I have all these here different sizes, right? You see there's no equal sizes here, right? So we're gonna be making one here. Now this size, you could always play around with the size, guys. You don't have to stick to the size that I have here. You could always play around. This one is gonna be a little bit bigger comparing to this one per se. So the measurement that I have here for the pockets, so the pockets I have is about the full length itself is about 11.5, so roughly about 11.5 for the full length, and then the width of it is about 8.5, and you get one piece for the pocket, so just one single piece for the pockets. Now for the main purse itself, you're gonna get 2 pieces of fabric, and the 2 pieces of fabric are gonna be about 15.5 by 13.5, so 2 pieces of fabric. So the full length is gonna be around 15.5 for the full length, and then the width itself going to be around 13.5 for the width itself. Okay, so 2 pieces of fabric, right? And then you want to get interfacing. So this is lightweight interface I have here. Now if you are in 2021, I still have interface on sale, and I'm not sure when you'll be watching this video, but as of now, if you want interface to buy, I do have interface. Of course, it should be in the link in the description, and you could actually get some, or you could actually buy it from any fabric store, the interface itself. This is just lightweight interfacing, and you will get 2 pieces itself. I'll sew them on either sides of the wrong side of this itself. Okay, sorry, I'll iron them, not sew them. I'll iron them down, and I'll show you how we're going to be doing that. And then of course you want to get yourself a button, and then we will be working with the buttonhole stitch on our sewing machine. So let's get started. Okay, so what we will do now, what I've done is that I've ironed the interface on the wrong side of the garment. So just like this, on the wrong side of the garment, right? So it's on the wrong side. I ironed the interface. Okay, now what I'm going to do, we're going to work with one piece first. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We are going to take this piece here, and then we will get the middle point. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this piece here, we'll fold it in half like this, right? And you could actually just take an iron and just kind of pass it down as well, just to kind of get the middle point. Right, so this is what I got the middle point here. Then I'm going to mark 2.5 inches down from the middle point, just a little marking to have as a guide. And then this is on the right side of the fabric. Of course, like I mentioned, this is on the wrong side, right? So this is on the right side of the fabric. So this is going to be my position here for my pockets. I'm not going to put it yet. So before I put the pocket, this is what I'm going to do with the pockets. I'm going to take my pocket, and I'm going to make sure it's right size touching right side. So this is the wrong size. I'm going to touch right size touching right side. So this here is the right side. So right size touching right side for my pockets here. Okay. So I'm just going to take out anything here, iron out any thing that is there. You could iron it out nicely. Okay. So right sides touching right sides. Okay, so right side touching right side. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go here, do half an inch stitch all around here, right here up to here. I'm going to leave an opening so I could turn this around. Okay, so we're going to start here, go here, we're going to come up here, and you could leave, you know, maybe a 3-inch open, 3-inch opening, 3.5-inch opening. That's fine for the pocket. So this is the first thing what I'm going to go ahead and do first, and then we're going to continue. Okay guys, so now we're gonna be sewing the pockets down. So we're gonna start here, as mentioned, and then we're gonna finish around that area here. Okay, so let's get started. And then we're gonna do 1/2 inch down. And then we're going to stop around here. Okay, so let's go back. Okay guys, so now you finished the pockets. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to nip the edges here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it around, and then we're going to turn it around, and then we're going to iron it down. Use the hole that we have here to turn everything nicely around. We're gonna poke it out nicely once you turn it around. Okay guys, so once you turn it, so this is how it's gonna look. Now, if you have something sharp, you could always poke the corners out nicely, just gently. I'm just gonna use my scissors here, so really gently. And then I'm gonna turn this here slightly, just poke it out nice and gently. And then I have this opening here, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and seal the opening down. Now I wouldn't do that on the camera. You're just gonna fold it down like this, right? Make sure everything is nice and even. You would iron it down, so make sure everything is nicely ironed, right? And then I will go on the sewing machine and I will just seal this shut here. Okay, now I don't have to. You could go on the sewing machine right now, as well as actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to skip that part and I'm going to show you how we're going to do everything together. Okay, so instead of doing double work, let's just do one work. Okay, all right, so we won't seal that yet, we'll do that after. So next thing we're gonna find the middle point. So I'm gonna just find the middle point here. So I'm just gonna fold this. It doesn't really matter which side you fold it now. Just wanna find the middle point. The middle point of your pockets. All right, and then you will take the middle point and you would point it right. Remember that marking we did earlier? Right, remember we did a marking earlier. Make sure that the opening is on the sides or in the bottom, not at the top. So you see, my opening is on the side and I'm good there, right? I don't want it at the top, because the top I wouldn't be sewing, but I will be sewing the sides, and I want to seal my opening down. So once you get a peak, the middle part for your pocket, once you iron it, then you put the middle. Remember I said we had ironed this before, and then we had a 1.5 inches down, just to kind of recap from previous. We had a 1.5 inches down from here. So we're gonna put our pockets the middle to middle at the 1.5 inches mark, and we had ironed this before. Then what I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna take some good pins here and I'm just gonna pin it down. Just like this. Okay, so then you can put another pin. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna go on our machine, we're gonna sew this down, back stitch with this down right at the very edge, and then we're gonna come here and then we're gonna stop. That's it. Okay, that's it we're gonna be doing right now. So once we do that, because I just want us to go on the machine and do one thing. Once we do this, okay guys, then we will take this and put it over this here. Okay, so I'm going to do this first. Okay, I'm going to do this first. Then when I come back, then we're going to fold this down and we're going to kind of get everything to the norm as how we want it. Okay. Okay, so let's go. All right, so remember, say we are leaving the opening at the very bottom here. Okay. Okay, so let's start with the sides. I'm gonna start with this side here, and I'm just gonna try to make it as small as it can to the edge of my pocket. Now there's no right or wrong way, guys, because it's the inside pocket. So just make sure you just sew a line here. I'm just gonna go in between here, but there's no right or wrong way. But you have a neat line. This is my end point here. Okay. All right, so see what I'm saying here? So here everything is sealed up on the side here, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, so I'm gonna put this aside, guys, and I am gonna just okay, guys, so I just want to actually just dive into the next step right away. So I'm just still here by the sewing machine. So the next thing we're gonna do here, so now we're gonna create a shape. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. Okay, so what we're gonna do again, we're gonna fold this in half, just like this, guys. Okay, so just like this. Then we're gonna take our ruler, and then we will measure. We'll go about 1 inch down. So 1 inch down on your tape, from your tape measurement. 1 inch down from here, and then we're gonna come right by the peak here. So you see what I fold? I just fold it up like this, and I measure that 1 inch down. Then I'm gonna mark this from here to here, so close to the peak itself. So you see what I do? Just very close to the peak, from here to here. And I'll take this. And I'm just gonna put it on the line that I made. A nice clean cut. So it does have this slightly peak. Now you don't have to, this is not something you have to, and you could always go in deeper with it as well. Like what I think I might just go down a little bit deeper. Let's go another 1 inch down. So half an inch down. Yeah, I'll just go another half an inch down. And then I'll cut it out. So it's just the same, by the same peak, I just go a little deeper this way. That's all I did. And what I'm gonna do is just to keep my line straight. Get another pair of scissors here. Hopefully this one is better than the first one. There you go. Right, so that is cut better than the first one. All right, good stuff. Perfect. Okay, so I just go 1.5 inch down. That's perfectly fine for me, because I wanted that peak there. Okay. All right. So once you're done with this, the next thing you're gonna do here now, you would take this here and you would mimic it. Okay. You would just mimic it. So you do the exact same thing. So just pin it down and you cut out the exact shape like this. Okay. So I don't know where my voice gone, but yeah, so just make sure you mimic it exact. Just cut it out. you want to pin it first. This guy was mimicking it here. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do here now, I would leave an opening in this purse, but I will go ahead and I will sew 1/2 inch here, come to my peak, 1/2 inch here, come to my peak, 1/2 inch here, come to my peak. Right? I'll come across here, down here. It's a 1/2 inch, and then I leave an opening somewhere in between here. Okay, so somewhere in the sides here, anywhere on the side, you can leave an opening, and the opening itself could be like 3.5, 4 inches opening. I have like almost 4, well, I have 3.25, 4 inch opening, and that's fine. You could leave a 4 inch opening, you could leave a 3 inch opening. That's to turn the bag. Okay, so I would go on the machine now, and I would start. I could start anyway. I could actually start here just to make sure I start here and I stop here. So I'm going to start here, and then I'm going to stop here. So I'm going to start here, go all around the back 1/2 inch, make sure I come nicely with my peak 1/2 inch, go down 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to stop here. Okay, that's what I'm going to do right now. All right, so now I'm going to start here. I put a pin there so I can kind of follow along. And then I'm going to do my 1/2 inch all the way around. Just remember, when you're turning, you actually put back right back on your 1/2 inch. And this turning peak, you want to make sure that you turn exactly on the 1/2 inch. So now this is where my peak is. Now let's turn this way. And then I'm going to stop right here. Okay, so once you iron, this is how it's supposed to look. Something like that. Okay. All right, so sometimes if you don't get the measurement all the way straight, don't worry. The first time you do it, you could always do it again. So the next thing what I'm going to do now, guys, I actually do want to do a top stitch to kind of keep everything down. So I'm going to top stitch the edge. So top stitch at the very edge of the whole bag. And as I'm top stitching it, of course, this side can also be sealed as well, the part that is open. Okay, so I'm going to top stitch it right now, and then we're going to close the bag and we're going to actually put our button. We're going to put a button, right? And then we're going to close our purse. Sorry, that's not a bag, it's a purse. I'm just going to sew right to the very edge. So we're done with the top stitch. Okay guys, so I do have a video of how to set up the button. So I have put the button that I desire here. Okay guys, so to make the button now, you could actually just take the button that you need to put in the bag, in the purse. You just put it in here. So I do have a video with buttons, so I wouldn't emphasize too much on this. Okay, so I expect you to watch it for all the settings of the machine and all that. So I'm just gonna try to slide it up here. Perfect. So what I've done here, so I'm just gonna show you overview here. I've made what I've done again. I try to get the middle part of my peak here because that's where my buttonhole is gonna be. I just fold it in half like this. The middle part of my peak, that's where my button is gonna be. Once I got the middle part there, then I shove a pin in here, and then I take the ruler and I just slightly mark it here. Or you could also iron it, and then you take your ruler and you do a little mark in here of where you want your buttonholes to start and stop. Okay, so I just do a guide. I'm just gonna follow the guide because the buttonhole, the button itself guide on the buttonhole feet is gonna guide me how long or how short the hole gonna be. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start here. So I'm gonna start here because it would actually I'll start this way. This is my peak, so I'll start this way and then it would go back. All right, that's just how it would do it. So let me go. Let's go here. So I could actually see my thing here, but because it's a little bit dark, I'll just put it right here. And then what I'll do, I'm just gonna make sure that I could see where the starting of my pin is. It's kind of hard to see. Okay, so I've got it. Beautiful. Okay. So now I'm just gonna take out my pins. This is my guide. The head came out. Okay. Let's hope I get the body out. I'm just hoping I did. Because I'm not sure if I did. Just make sure I did. Yeah, I didn't. Okay. So I'm just gonna redo the same thing again. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just gonna have my hand stable here. I'm gonna pull down my back, push it back, and then I'm gonna start my buttonhole. Stop. My buttonhole is all in place. Okay, so our buttonhole is here. Our buttonhole guide. I'm just gonna put a stop here so I can make open the hole. My diamond will go up. Okay. All right, so moment of truth now. So I am gonna pull this, I'm gonna measure 2 inches down from here. Push it down from here. Push it down from here, and then I'm gonna take this and bring it up. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do here. Then I'm going to go over my machine and I'll just seal this down again. If you want to just go right on the thread, just make sure that you are neat when you're on the machine. You want to neat up your edges here. Because again, you're doing another top stitch. And again, the first top stitch was not necessarily a must. It's just that I like my top stitch because it makes the bag look more tailored. But you could always go ahead and just iron it, and then you do the buttonhole and you just decide to sew it down like that. Okay, so this is how it's gonna look, right? And then once I get my button, I'll put my button right here. That's pretty much how it would look. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here now, I'm just gonna, oops, I forgot I had my button there. Sorry. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'll do a top stitch right here down. I'm just gonna try my best to follow my lines here, and I'm just gonna sew on my button, and then we'll see the end result. Okay. This is our final look.